Chad Doubleday.
And I'm Becky, and this is our story of how God brought our family to FFC. So Chad has lived here all his life, and I moved to Ankeny in 2000. We got married in 2004, and we were attending a church in another community. And in late 2010, God really put a desire in my heart to attend a church in our community where we could get involved and plugged in. So in March of 2011, our good friends and neighbors, their little boy who was 2 years old had a series of seizures, and he had a brain injury and ended up in the hospital here in Des Moines. And we immediately saw their lighthouse from church, from FFC, just come around them. And they were bringing food, they were bringing gas cards, they were offering to mow the yard or do spring cleanup.
Just anything and everything. It was just nice to see the outpouring of love and just for our family. And we didn't know any of these people, and they just showed up at our door with food or whatever, you know, that this family needed. And it was just a neat thing to see, and we wanted a little more of that, I guess, is what we're looking for.
And so I remember it was Memorial Weekend of 2011, and I woke up and I said, I'm going to First Family today to visit. Does anybody want to come with me? And Chad said, yeah, I'm coming, and our girls were both excited because they knew some kids that went to FFC, and so we jumped in the car, went for our first service there Memorial Weekend.
I got out of the service, and I don't think I've ever said it before, but I said, this is our church, this is where we're going to go. So.
And both of our girls, before we were out of the parking lot, said, can we come back next week? And so it was just a confirmation for us that that's where God wanted us to be. And so we just knew this is where we're going to be, and we made the transition from our old church and really jumped in 100% at First Family and got to know more families. Each week we met new people and got to know new families, and we would see people that we'd see at a park, or we would see people we'd met at the library. And one of those was actually the lighthouse leaders that we are in with now. And I had met Britta Robran at the library, and so when we came to FFC and made that connection, they invited us Labor Day weekend 2011 to a picnic at their house with their lighthouse. And when the Lighthouse Expo came around, we signed up to be a part of the Robran Lighthouse. We had thought, okay, if we get a fraction from this lighthouse and get to be a part of what we saw from the Roby Lighthouse that came alongside our friends the Webbs, then we're excited to see what God has for our family and how He can use us and use this small group. We're still a part of the lighthouse, of the Robran Lighthouse that we joined in 2011 when we started at First Family, and we have God has just blessed us with some really close friends that are more like family to us.
Like an extended family. That's what I consider it.
They've come into our home and studied God's Word with us. We have had countless more picnics and lake days and fun activities. But we know that this group of people is there, and if you send out a prayer request, we know there's immediately families and people that are praying for us, and they would be here in a heartbeat if we needed something. And I remember saying to you, and you agreeing, that this is what church is. It's not just going on a Sunday morning
and listening to the preacher, going home, and do it next Sunday or Wednesday night or whatever the case may be.
I really feel like God has just brought friendships and genuine friendships into my life through the women in my lighthouse, and I can be myself. I don't have to be somebody's mom or somebody's wife or the children's director or anybody. I can just be Becky. And there's something that's really safe about that, and I've gained those friendships at First Family, and it started in our lighthouse, and then God has just brought other women into my life that I don't feel alone anymore. I don't feel that we're isolated on our own island and we're raising our kids and doing this alone. I feel like we have this group of people that we get to do this with now. So as we look back over the last 5 or 6 years, back to really 2010, it's just neat to see what God has been doing in each of us individually, and then for us as a couple, and for us as a family. And He, really started with the desire in my heart, and then Chad was on board with that. And it's just been neat to see how many different connections we've had, and there were, people we were meeting in the community, and all these pieces of the puzzle that, God knew the finished puzzle, and we were just seeing a piece at a time. And it's been really neat to see these last 6 years how God has just continued to put piece by piece together the puzzle for our family.